Hey guys, it's Haunted House here. Black Ops 6 has been out for a little while now, and I'm still having fun getting used to all the mechanics, learning the ins and outs of everything, and just exploring around, trying different perk and weapon combinations, just seeing all the game has to offer. My experience thus far has been really positive, to be completely honest with you, and I've enjoyed my time with this Call of Duty more than any in the past. However, I would be lying if I didn't say that we are getting past the honeymoon phase. The rose-tinted glasses are slipping a little bit, and I wanted to discuss some things that are making it very difficult for me to enjoy my time with this game for longer than a 1 hour session. In the past, I would play Call of Duty for huge chunks of time. We're talking 5 to 8 hours at one time. And if you're like me and you've been in that state of flow where you're just focused on the next match, the next unlock, going towards the next prestige or unlocking the next camo, you know that time can slip away from you faster than you realize it. I was sitting and thinking about why this game felt so different to me and why I felt like I could not sit for longer than one short session. And there were really two big factors that came to mind that were affecting my ability to play this game for longer periods of time. And no, it's not the fact that I'm old and have a career and a family. There are a couple of big factors that go into making playing the game for longer periods an issue, and I want to talk about them today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start our conversation here. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Let's tune in. So yeah, while there are a lot of things to enjoy about the game, I do feel like the rose-tinted goggles have been slightly snatched away from me, and I'm having issues staying engaged in the game for longer sessions, comparative to just short bursts. One of the big factors for this is the overall map design, and I want to discuss that here today. The maps for Black Ops 6 were small to medium according to the developers, and after spending some time in the game, I would definitely say that you can feel that affect all aspects of the gameplay. In my initial review of the game, I did say that I enjoyed the fast-paced maps and they felt fun and engaging to play on, and for the most part I still agree with that. There are a lot of maps in this game that are pretty good. However, there are definitely some that have grown to be more painful to play on than even my initial impressions. I thought I just had to get used to some of these maps, learn the layouts a little bit better, and learn where the vantage points were or the secret paths. No. Some of these maps have grown to be a colossal pain in my ass. Case in point, Red Card, or the stadium map, whatever that's called. I'm not exactly sure how that map got approved. It feels like an outlier compared to everything else. It doesn't really have a good flow to it, and the overall design means that sometimes you won't see another player for minutes at a time, depending on where the action is taking place. I heard some whispers before the game came out that some of the maps were AI designed, and I think that may be true, but not in the way that everybody thinks. I don't think these maps were solely designed by AI, but I do think the general layouts may have been AI generated, and then it was polished up by a person so that it was something that is more playable. You can really feel that on some of these maps because the flow feels off. Like, it has all the pieces that a good Call of Duty map has. It has lanes that players can traverse through and different spawn locations, but everything feels a little off. It's like when you see one of those AI generated images and it has 7 fingers on one hand or something. It's just not quite there. And if the people in charge of polishing the maps after the AI generates them don't really want to go in and make a whole lot of changes, I'm sure that leads to some awkwardness, and that may explain what we're feeling when we play on some of these maps. I was hoping with time I would feel that the flow of the maps was a little bit better than it is at this point, but I feel like putting more time into playing on the map doesn't really reward me with that. A majority of them are just small, fast-paced, and chaotic, and usually not in a good way. And then you have those awkward outliers where sometimes you won't see other players for minutes at a time, and then randomly they'll spawn behind you. Speaking of, spawns are the next big thing affecting my ability to play the game for long sessions. Let me know in the comments below if something similar to this has happened to you. You're playing, you're fragging out, you get a nice little 2-piece, and then, you get taken out by a third guy you didn't see. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. We go again. Oh wait, no, you're dead again before you can even realize what happened. You've just spawned in from the heavens, hand-delivered right into the crosshairs of a waiting enemy. Sure, Call of Duty is no stranger to bad spawns, but I don't think it has ever been this bad, at least not that I can remember. This is really exemplified on maps like Babylon, but if you have bad luck, you can just get caught into a loop of bad spawns and get 4 or 5 deaths without really being able to do anything about it. Getting spawn killed is something that is always going to be frustrating in any first-person shooter game, but when the maps are oddly designed, it just makes it feel even worse. There are certain points on these maps where it almost feels like it was designed for you to get spawn trapped, and that's just not a great feeling. Another huge factor affecting the ability to play these maps and these games for longer periods of time is skill-based matchmaking and engagement-optimized matchmaking in the case of Call of Duty. The combination of this matchmaking and the maps is just taking what would be normal issues in Call of Duty that can be changed over time with some patches or a few updates and making them into major engagement issues, which is kind of ironic when you factor in that the engagement optimized matchmaking is supposed to increase engagement, not push people away from the game. Not only do you have small maps that are chaotic, not only do you have maps that are designed in odd ways with weird layouts that you can't really get into a flow on and you will be spawn camped on, but skill-based matchmaking makes sure that you have the most intense games of your fucking life. You just came home trying to relax after a hard day at work and nope, sorry bucko, you're in the finals of the Call of Duty fucking Pro League, playing for $1 million prize pool, so you better figure it the fuck out. Everybody is butt scooting and action movie diving around, snorting Adderall off of their coffee table and washing it down with some G Fuel. This just adds to the feeling of absolute fucking pandemonium. You don't get a moment's rest to really figure out what's going on or lock down a portion of a map. No, you've got to get the fuck out there, get on the move, kill or be killed. You can really feel that these maps and this experience has been like scientifically engineered in a lab to be super engaging. But at the end of the day, it just feels exhausting and it feels like the same old every single time. You don't have that normal ebb and flow that you have in an arcade shooter where one game is really chaotic but the next game's a little slower paced. One game you're on top of the leaderboard leading your team to victory and the other time you're getting humbled by some really good players. You can't have these kinds of ebbs and flows with these maps with engagement optimized matchmaking. There's just no room for it. So at the end of the day, you just have a kind of homogenized, samey experience. It's like eating your favorite food for every meal. Sure, you may love a meat lover's pizza, but if you had to eat it every single time you sat down to eat a meal, you would go fucking crazy. If you don't change it up, you're gonna end up hating the thing that you once loved, and I don't want that to happen with Call of Duty for me. And the big thing is, I don't feel like I am alone in this sentiment. If you look around on Twitter or on Reddit, you see a lot of people that are complaining about the maps, some more aggressively than others, but the fact that there are the average players like you and me that are picking up on this and not just the Call of Duty YouTubers that have been playing for 40 hours straight already is a bit alarming. We should not be seeing the average everyday player calling for a map pack this early on into the game's lifecycle. That's a really bad sign. Especially when you think about the fact that the only thing that we know is on the horizon is Nuketown. Yeah, Nuketown, the map that is all about small, fast-paced action. In fact, it feels like all of these maps were just variations on Nuketown, like they fed the map into an AI algorithm and just said make variations of this. So I'm not sure if we'll get any kind of relief or any kind of variation anytime soon. So yeah, I definitely feel like the map layout and overall game design is affecting people's ability to play the game for longer sessions without feeling burnt out. It's ironic that their attempts at increasing engagement are actually burning people out faster than if they just had normal design and maps. Hopefully Treyarch can take this feedback and kind of adjust and make some changes over the next few seasons in Black Ops 6, but I guess only time will tell. So that's my experience with Black Ops 6 so far. Are you having a similar experience? Are you having issues staying engaged with the game for longer periods of time comparative to how you used to play? Or am I way off base with this? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see future videos, and like the video if you liked it. It goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. But with that said, I'm going to continue on the prestige grind. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you next time, friends.